Today's demonstration is how to create a cast shadow in pen and ink. What I'd like everyone to do is, the majority of us will be creating a cast shadow in hatching, not cross-hatching. The key is to put the hatch marks in the right place, show a variation of light to dark, not compete with our pumpkin form. And so the first step would just be to take your pencil and lightly outline on a practice where you see from your point of view your cast shadow. You are going to kind of draw out a pencil outline where you see it. You don't have to have the whole thing, including the stem and stuff like that, but I'm going to do 3 examples. Here is my pumpkin with the cast shadow underneath. Here is a pumpkin with the cast shadow to the left, to the right rather. If you can see that on the screen, I'm doing it darker than what you should do, just so you can see what I'm doing. Can everyone see that on the screen? That's much darker, but it's in pencil of what you should do. That's if the cast shadow is at the right. I'm looking at the bottom of the pumpkin and seeing exactly where the cast shadow hits that pumpkin. And I'll make this one much different. So, the next thing you want to do is keep in mind that your lines for your cast shadow should start under your pumpkin and run parallel to the top and the bottom of the page. You do not or should not fill the entire shape of your cast shadow unless you're in a position maybe in the back where the cast shadow is directly under your pumpkin. Generally speaking, we are just going to make a quick idea of a cast shadow. Lines closer together as you're under your pumpkin, and then quickly fade off. You always continuously have to check to make sure that your lines that you're creating run parallel with the top and the bottom page. So everyone, practice with me in your sketchbook. You're just going to start right underneath and within that outlined area. Don't go beyond it. Practice with me now, even if you're not done with your pumpkin. Every single line I create is parallel with the top and the bottom of the page. This creates the illusion of a flat tabletop. The next step that you're going to do is just create a slight fade off or a slight broken line beyond it, and you're done. Look at this guy over here. Miss West, I don't see any cast shadow under here. But how funny does that look, right? Even if you don't see a cast shadow, put like a little idea of weight underneath. It miraculously makes a big difference. So this is where we might have to fake it just a little bit to show that illusion of weight, so this part of our pumpkin doesn't look like it's floating. How do we handle our cast shadow if it's directly under the pumpkin? Here I'm going to pretend that the cast shadow is directly going towards me, facing me. Again, dark underneath. Like I said, if we practice this together, even like as you're watching the video or as you're hearing the demo, then your chances of creating a successful cast shadow the first time will be greater. practicing first in our sketchbook, and then going on to our final. If our cast shadow takes up the entire space that we truly see of our shadow, like say we have a big long shadow going across our page, then if we actually make it as dark as we see it and make it extending as wide as we see it, then the work of art becomes about the shadow and not about the pumpkin. That might be fun for a project where you really do something experimental with the pumpkin. I mean, with the shadow, like make it into a ghost or something. I can see you really like having fun with that for the work of art. But for the purposes of this technical assignment, try it just like this, and then that's something you can have fun with later on your own, or when we have our creative assignment where you take what you learned in this class and then create your own work of art with using those skills, which that will be an assignment later in the year. But for the purpose of this technical assignment, just like that. Just an illusion of weight. I'm going to do one more. Where the cast shadow is going over to the right. And I know many of you have double shadows and all that. You're not even worrying about that. You're just doing a simple, most important part is your hatch lines are parallel with the top and the bottom of your page. And you never ever really want to go beyond your outline. If you're not done with your pumpkin, what you can do is just hit it with a blow dryer, and then you won't smear it. The direction of your cast shadow is extremely important. What I'll be assessing is if your cast shadow is going to the right of your page, are your highlights on the left side of your pumpkin? If your cast shadows are on the left of your page, are your highlights on the right side of your pumpkin? You really want to work that out so it's correct. And that's why for this project we're going to sit in the same sheet every day. Okay? The end. Oh, and in the end, you erase your outline that's in pencil, just like every other step of the pumpkin, and we're done.